Aloha and good morning. This is John again with Human Design Hawaii, back to talk to you today about aura type. Hopefully by now you've done your chart and you've taken a look at what type of being you are and what centers you have open. That was the first segment of videos we did where we talked about the open centers. I like to call that segment Meet Your Monkeys, because really what you're dealing with there is where you're open to conditioning. This segment I really like to call How Do I Drive This Thing? Because each aura type has a different mechanic and way of expressing itself in the world. So, first of all, we have the type that everyone thinks that they want to be, which is the manifester. And the manifester's aura type, once you understand it, you can start to see the dilemma that they have as well. Their aura is actually really tight and dense and contracted against the body. It is literally here to push energy out of the way. That's why they're the only ones that should initiate things. The manifester deals with resistance from the other because it doesn't inform the other properly before it makes these movements, but it's designed to push the energy out of the way. Also makes the other type a little suspicious of the manifester because they're very uncontrollable beings. About 10% of the planet are manifestors. Then we have the vast majority of the planet, which are generators. And the funny thing about the generators, they all think that they want to be manifestors. And the generator is actually here to respond to the environment. They have a motor. They have a sacral life force motor, and if you have the red square anywhere in your design, because it's only in one place, but if you have the red square, you're a generator. And that means that you're here to learn to respond to life. The generator's aura is very open and enveloping of the other. The generator can really feel almost like this big cosmic bear hug when you come in contact with them. And again, the dilemma of the generator really is that they're always initiating. As soon as they initiate, they're out of their frequency. You can think of a radio station just slightly off, and instead of getting this nice clean signal that they get in response to life, and that's where all their power comes from, responding to life, they actually regenerate their aura by responding to life. But every time their mind initiates, they're degenerating their life force. Approximately 70% of the planet are generators. Then you come to my type, and my type is a projector. And the projector is the only type that's really here to recognize the ability of the other, recognize the benefits, and whether or not the energy is working right in its environment. So the projector the aura is very absorbing. I almost like to call it like the paper towel. You know, wherever we go, we're cleaning up the auras of the other. But when we're properly recognized, we're here to focus and help bring guidance to the other. It's our gift. Many projectors, again, think that they're manifestors. They go outside and they go and try to initiate things. They meet with resistance. The real beauty of this is to see how through these mechanics we can really relax into our own vehicles. Approximately 20% of the planet, 21% or so, are projectors. And then the last part is very rare. It's called a reflector type aura. The reflector aura is it's strong. It sounds like it's weak. It's not weak at all. It's actually very strong. But it can't be enveloped. It's not enveloping. And what it's doing is it's sampling. It's taking little bits and pieces. They're not focused on the other. They're just taking little tidbits, little samples from the environment. And for the reflector, I mean, there is nothing more important than being in the right place. Because if they're not in the right place, they're not with the right people. And again, there's only about 1% of them on the planet. So just to go back through this real quick, we've got the manifestor's aura, which is dense and actually here to push energy out of the way. We have the generator's aura, which is open and enveloping and like a very yin energy that's bringing life to it so that it can respond and use its life force in response. Then we have the projector, which is absorbing until it's properly recognized, and boom, it focuses in almost like a cone going into the other to help bring guidance. And then we have the reflector, and the reflector, again, is just taking little bits and pieces of their environment. And the reflector is the lunar being, and that means it's on a 28, 29-day cycle, and all other types are solar beings, which are on more of a 24-hour cycle with the sun versus with the moon.